Well, hello peeps. Today we have a short little video on something that I overlooked on my first look at the DH, and that's the impact of all the changes to the Fodder of the Flames. So, basically what I overlooked was the first time that we don't actually proc our demon anymore. We actually use Spectral Sight to reveal the demon, or basically to activate and force the effect to happen. So, we are basically using an ability that gets cancelled by being hit or hitting, and that ability now spawns a target that hits us or we hit it, right? So you can kind of immediately see the issue that we have here, right? As far as Spectral Sight just being being used for Spectral Sight is gonna be hard, right? If you are using Fodder to the Flame, it's just gonna be very, very hard to use Spectral Sight to just reveal rogues and do the actual thing what Spectral Sight is meant to do. It's also very random, right? You can get it like in front of you, you can get it like behind you. So like if you got it in front of you, like here, like what the hell am I supposed to do, right? I'm kite it, right? Like yeah, like it's very hard to actually like, you know, because you can jump through it. Your Fell Rush is gonna damage it. If you go next to it, it's gonna hit you. So it's an immediate problem in PvP, right? An immediate issue in PvP. You're never gonna really use, if you're gonna use Fodder to the Flame, basically Spectral Sight becomes a little heal / damage boost ability. I also think that on the PvE side of things, this is also not a good change, just because I feel like it's kind of Blizzard's laziness of making effects or things in the game that actually benefit you having a Demon Hunter and having a Spectral Sight on your team. So the best example, of course, is Court of Stars that we had in last season, which is a dungeon from Legion, right? Where Demon Hunters can basically skip a mechanic where everybody else would have to go and talk to each one of the NPCs and try to figure out which exact NPC is the baddie, right? You, as a Demon Hunter, can just go and, like, after the clues have been collected, you can just go and use Spectral Sight and find immediately who is the evil person or the hidden demon, right? So it's definitely, I think, a loss on PvE side as well, right? I don't think this is like a W for PvE, other than that you have Fodder to the Flame on a forced proc, basically. At this point, I would basically, if they want Fodder to Flames to function like a proc, I basically have two solutions. Not like a proc, sorry, I meant to say, like, if they want it to be like an active, I have two solutions. The first, and very easy, just make this an ability of its own. Like, it completely it really counterintuitively interacts with the actual ability of Spectral Sight and how you would want to use Spectral Sight, right? And then it also removes the usage, right? The ease of usage of it for the actual, right, effect, which is seeing stealthed targets, invisible targets, etc. So I feel like just making it its own ability would be just the best thing they can do. And I feel like that's the easiest thing, just make this its own click. Like, no problems. Like, you're already trying to make it its own click. So why not make it just its own button? 1.5 minute cooldown is fine, right? Just copy the same exact kind of like profile that you were going for, and then we can have Spectral Sight as an ability. Another thing that I would like, if they don't want to do that, and I think it's also a really good solution, it's just to make it the demon miss, right? Just make the demon have a 100% miss chance. Or make the Demon Hunter have a 100% dodge chance towards the demon, right? At that point, we can just kind of, right, if the demon is like in front of me, right, I can just go, around it, but like, it's not gonna hit me, right? I can just go around it and I can, try and catch the rogue, catch the mage, catch the hunter, well, whatever the class we're talking about, right? If I'm in Court of Stars, which of course we're currently probably not, not gonna be, but like if I'm in the Court of Stars or a dungeon that they make in the future that uses Spectral Sight, I can actually, right, ignore the demon hitting me, and I can still use my Spectral Sight for what Spectral Sight is supposed to be used. And that's basically it, peeps. I just wanted to highlight how, I guess currently, even if you're like just a PvE player, right, this completely like destroys an ability that could be used in a more intentional way, could be used in a more interesting way. Of course, I know not every dungeon has a reason for you to use it like this, but it also feels like silly when they can just simply make its own button when they're trying to go for this kind of like effect, right? Like, why are you consolidating this into Spectral Sight and basically removing Spectral Sight from being used as what it is actually intended for? And again, mainly a PvP concern, right? In PvE, you're not that concerned with Spectral Sight these days, right? There's also no Court of Stars to do so. Like, again, you really don't care for PvE. that much, but in PvP really is like a scuffed thing, right? You're not gonna use your demon proc. Let's say you want to use your demon proc at a specific time, but like you can't then use, right? You have a choice, basically, and a bad choice at that, right? If you use Spectral Sight to try and find people, it's also harder to find them, and then you're also proccing your demon in maybe a time that you don't want to proc your demon. So overall, I just think this is a bad design decision by Blizzard, and this should just be consolidated either in its own button, or should be made in a way that you can't have the demon cancel you out of Spectral Sight, basically, and you have to take this talent then, or just put Lost in Darkness into Spectral Sight then, if you're gonna go for a change like this. And that's it, peeps. I hope you've enjoyed this little video. Like, comment, subscribe, all those things the YouTubers want you to do, and have a nice day.